Heaven, heaven. It's Tycoon Wibby, and this is Thinking and Speaking in Yes. Right? And today, and for the rest of the month, we're going to be talking on there are zero particles. There are zero particles. Point to one. Somebody prove me. Right? You watch this video, you hear me say this crazy, right? Yeah. There's zero particles. Somebody prove to me that any particle is. Prove it. Prove it. Yes? Because apparently, if a particle is made of a particle, then the particle that we thought was a particle is really a resultant field. So then that particle that we thought was made up of that particle that made that particle is end up being made by some other tinier group of particles. And so that particle that we thought was a particle that made the particle ends up being a resultant field in itself. So yes, where are the particles? You have zero need of them. You have zero need of them, right? We all grew up, right? And we could comprehend the message of the particle wave duality. Yeah. And so it's the particle wave duality, which is crazy because it should be the wave particle duality. Yes. Because we were still like cavemen, things you can touch. They're obviously made of particles, right? At this gigantic level, right? They're obviously made of particles. And so we even framed our science on it, but then we got to experimenting and we learned that, well, to be honest, everything's vibration. And that particle thing is a can be. Yeah, you crazy, stop all that. We're going back to this particle, right? Because of some kind of experiment done by these physicists. Yes, I almost sliced my thumb off with the table saw, so we're still going through the make welling, right? Yeah. Heaven mind and a yes mind and a blessed mind is a life practice. Yes, we are practicing, and we have logic on why we are practicing. Yes, when we actually go and we study science, of course we comprehend that we start with the particle, but then the science says, yeah, well, it looks like it's waves of something. And the particles is math. Yep, I'm telling you right here in this video right here. Yep, I'm an NFT this video, right? There are zero particles. Zero. Zero. Everything here is the waving of the ether. What is the ether? It's 2023, right? Last time I checked, we just got material that could go and stand and be still in its same shape at the surface of the star. Yes, we are still very much a caveman species. And they're talking about how can we detect the ether. Well, do we even have the material science to detect? What if it takes us 1,000 more years of development before we develop the instruments, yes, that allow us to get close to referencing the ether? Yes, because obviously the ether is what is. Yes. And the other thing that I'm going to be harking on today and for the rest of this month, right, is the fact of how is movement made? How do we do this? What is this? Right? Like just this simple thing here. What is this? Right? Because they have something in physics called object permanence. That's a fucking lie. Yeah, right? Like they literally, well, quantum mechanics says object permanence is a child's play toy, right? But yet still down the line, they say, well, there is this thing as object permanence. When I walk out of my kitchen, the kitchen is still there. Prove it. Prove it. Because if it come and go in at the same time, how you ever yes it? And then we're talking about the idea in life of how movement is made. Movement is made by the ticky-tacky and linking of states. Yes, of frames, right? States, frames, you get the picture, right? So when we are forced to display movement, it is done so in frames. Why would it be so here? Why would it be different here? Why would it be different? Why would you say that it is different for this life here? Everything else has to be yes, displayed on a frame rate, but life is this object permanence thing. Talk to your mom. Maybe she'll listen to you, yeah. Because what I just learned was there's a million billion states out there, and I seem to be sliding through them. Yes, because that is what's going on if you talk to the being called the I at I, right? The I at I, she will display to you and she will tell you of the actual structures of reality. Yes? And so, yeah, the I at I has yet to be served in these verses, but in the heavens where I'm from, we talk with the I at I a lot, right? Kind of as a deity form, but in heaven we have zero need of some higher deity doing things for us. That's very weird, right? It's more of a relationship, a friendship that is occurring within, yes? Because all things are linked through what is called the space, right? I refer to it as the eternal solid, yes? Solid in the sense that there are zero spaces here. It can seem so because we're dealing with vibrations and frequencies and waves. They interfere and they cancel out. Yeah? So once again, yes, harking on, going to be repeating a lot of this month. Yes? There are zero particles. Whoever told you that lie is a fucking idiot. Right? Even in the science, we have to come out and start tamping down the wokeness in science. This is where the mind is allowed to be as objective as it can be, and yet they like to put it in a box. How is thinking occurring in a box? And yet, me, I got like an associate's degree. I discovered and ballooned out into these verses the yes mind. Me, Tycoon Reginald Andrew Whippet. But yet, in the ivory tower is where the thinking goes on. Shh. I'll tell you guys a secret, yeah? I'll tell you a secret. This is the real secret, yeah? All of the real geniuses are at home. Most of them are living simple lives, yes? You see some out there being flamboyant, right? You see some out there being in the industries, yes? Because the last time I looked at the political sphere, there are zero geniuses in the political sphere. Yeah, like actual geniuses, right? Because death and stupidity, right? And also, once again, it is the idea of thinking from the fact that particles are real. There are zero particles here, sir. Zero. This is what you're seeing here. Even from your phone, those are waves. Right? So, if you can prove, stop telling me proof that somebody else might have showed you in something, right? We comprehend field effects, yeah. But stop calling field effects particles. A particle would be a self-encapsulated thing. There are zero of those here. And it is basing everything. The political structure, the invention structure, the social structures, all from this idea of this ephemeral particle that we made up because the math looks good. We comprehend that there are field effects. Stop calling field effects particles. Yes? And let us deal with the truth of the matter is there is this place which is and holds states as movements of this place. And all things visible and invisible that are acting in geometric fashions are done so by the movement of this place. And so when you are talking about the political structure and the base idea of vibrations and waves being at the back, it's impossible for someone to divide, because who's splitting a wave in two? Who even thinking? What? That's idiocy. When it comes to engineering and comprehending the actual invention and the inflow of actual power, shake this place, power pops out. Right? And from the idea of the social ideas blended with the based idea of vibrations and waves, right? We are all one. This is how we build all of our structures. We are all one. That is the proof of the pudding. Yes? So, yeah, that's this video for today. And you already, yes, just like Jesus, baby, right? I have the message of heaven blessing, yes. Giving it to. Giving it to. Got my job to do from the heavenly host, right? Doing it. Yes? So tomorrow, once again, I'll be harking on in a different kind of way, in a different kind of talk, right? We're all going to get sick of me talking on this thing. But this is how we're going to do it till I figure something else out, right? Yeah, so in January, we'll pick a subject. We'll talk about it all month, right? February, we'll pick a subject, talk about it all month, right? And this month, it's going to be, there are 0 particles here. And how is movement made? How is movement made, right? Because Wallace D. Wattles and Neville Goddard, yes, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. A cacophony of movements of this place that hold eternally scenes like this. Ever.